Hey guys, and welcome back. So an update to my Atemoya. So right now it is November. The fruits are getting bigger. However, they're still on the smaller end of the spectrum. But as you know, December and January comes by, they're gonna get a lot bigger very quickly. But one thing I wanted to point out to you guys is that this tree here, this is my Gaffner. As you can see, the leaves are a lot fuller, a lot bigger compared to my African Pride. This one is not a lot, not a whole lot, and the leaves or tends to be a little bit lot smaller than what the Gaffner is like, and the other variety. So here, this is a African Pride, and compare this to a Gaffner. So maybe it's 4 or 5 times bigger. But one thing is that, so my trees, from all of my trees, I pruned it 2 times. One time at the beginning of the season, and then a second time in somewhat maybe early or mid season, because they get this big and I don't like them to be big, so I cut them back. But for the other trees it is fine, but for my African Pride, it is having a hard time to grow back and be a little fuller. It could be that the leaves are smaller, so it's not as more prominent than than that, since that thing is about 4 to 5 times bigger in size, the leaves wise. So it should have maybe 4 or 5 times more surface area for the leaves than versus this. So it makes sense, right? So but maybe for the next season I may not prune this guy as hard on the second time around. But as you can see, prune 2 times, the trees still looking very healthy, very good. So here, let's take a look at some of the fruits. So I did notice that some actually fell off. It aborted some of the smaller ones, so maybe thumb size, pollinated late. Try to save it for April and May time frame, but the tree decided to give it up. It could be that I pruned it a second time and it did not have enough leaves to generate the nutrient required for those fruits, so it aborted. But here are some of the fruits here in early November. It's looking good. Lots of scales around here, but they don't really do much to the fruits, so I can pretty much remove them manually. But just look at that beautiful size fruit. For now, it's still smaller. These guys here are smaller than my sugar apple at the moment. The sugar apples, they should be ready soon, hopefully soon, because winter is going to be here, and that tree is going to suffer quite a little bit. But just look at that. This is my African Pride. Beautiful. So I counted maybe about 20 fruits so far on this tree, but look at that. Everything beautiful. So I keep all of the nice looking ones, the very evenly shaped, uniform. Anything that's a little bit deformed, I tend to manually abort them, because first they don't look nice, and secondly they don't get big. They don't get a whole lot big like these guys up here. But these guys here will pollinate it a little bit later. So these guys here will probably be ready after maybe February, March of next year. Beautiful, right? Some of these guys over here are even better looking. Some of the leaves are dying out. That's okay. Look at that. African Pride. AP1. There are AP2 out there, and I think that there may be another variety, but I've not I've not looked into them. So, but mold, that's okay. After this season, all the leaves are going to be stripped, and then I'll try to clean the tree up a little bit, and then it should be okay. One last one up here for the African Pride. As they get bigger, some smooth out a little bit, some bump, some smooth. So here, this is my my Gaffner with a few varieties grafted on it as well. So let's take a look at some of the fruits here in early November. Beautiful, right? So right away you can tell, looks like a porcupine versus something like this. The spikes are not very prominent. But these guys, they look good, but not good to ship if you need to ship them, because all the spikes here, they break very easily in a shipping container. Look at that, beautiful. So on this tree here, I have, I think, 3 varieties, more varieties grafted, but one of them, this is the Lisa. This is this is, I think, 5 months here. Look at that. Beautiful. So that's the beauty of Atemoyas. You can graft and you can get results quite quickly. Here's the joint. I think it's looking pretty good. So I'm not afraid that this thing here is gonna snap this yet. But we'll see what happens here. But look at the graft joint. Not too bad. Look at that, not too bad. There it is, Lisa. And look at this, one long branch. I'm gonna let this grow, just, you know, so it can suck the nutrient up from this, you know, branch here and heal and grow that. But over here, a little bit bushy. I probably cut this back maybe after this video or tomorrow. I'll cut it back a little bit, but not too much. Some I set late. Hopefully this is gonna stay. Some, here's a late one as well. And just look at that, beautiful, gorgeous. So this tree is about 5 years, 5 years old here. This year, not a whole lot of fruits because I did not have a lot of buds. It was my fault. Getting too comfortable with my trees. Look at that, beautiful. Here is an unknown variety grafted on here. So this graft here is about 2 or 3 years old. Yeah, the graft joint is pretty much almost gone right there. You can barely tell. Look at that. So Gaffner. Let's go take a look at my my Lindstrom. I didn't like this tree at first because of the taste, but then, you know, after a couple of years, the taste is really good. It's really good. But this tree is a little bit later than African Pride and Gaffner. They set a little bit later. But I have a lot of moles on here because of a lot of scales. You know, look at that. It's not pretty. It's not pretty right now. But once it's harvest, I can clean that up. It's just a little bit of cosmetic on the exterior, nothing to worry. These guys here, they get very big, so 3 pounds, 3 pounders plus. And of course, there's my one and only red Gaffner. So it's getting bigger than what I showed you guys last time, and it's looking really nice. I really like the skin here. Look at that. Smooth, but not as smooth as the African Pride, and it's so uniform. It looks beautiful. Look at that, gorgeous. And here's the joint. I think it's still doing okay. I don't think this is gonna snap yet, but it may soon. So I probably will tie this up to maybe one of the branches over here. 2 more fruits right there. So this tree here is about, I kept it about maybe 6 feet right now or less, but it's a pretty good tree. The trunk of this tree here is a lot bigger than my other 2 trees, maybe 2-3 inches. And here, look at this. So this year here, I've seen a lot of this. I see a lot of this. The tree abort some of the fruits. I think it could be me, you know, pruning the tree, you know, mid-season, and it didn't like it. It is possible. Or it could be that I did not fertilize the trees, you know, on time and water it correctly, because you know, I'm just too busy. Just too busy. And these guys here are well established, so I tend to not, you know, worry about them as much. But that's it for my trees here. I have one more on the other side, but that one is you know, it's maybe let's go take a look. Okay, so this is the fourth tree. It's looking pretty decent as well. This is the somewhat unknown variety. The leaves are big, like the Lindstrom and the Gaffner. So these are the fruits right here. This was this was gift as a PPC, but it's not it. Just look at that. It's not a PPC for sure from the look of that. Here, this one is probably the best looking one for this season, and this one here is a little bit deformed, misshaped, but I'm gonna keep it because I don't have a lot on here. Maybe just 3 to 4 fruits, and that's about it. So just 3 over there. Let's see if anything over here. Nothing over here. Yeah, like I said, this year not a lot of buds, so you know, probably my fault for not taking care of them, you know, like the previous years. But yeah, just an update on my Atemoyas. November, we're halfway there almost. All right, guys, that's it. If you do enjoy the content, please give me a thumbs up. And if you would like to stay up to date with me and my trees, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Have a good day.